preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking each and every one of you for coming back and joining me here once again in the theater. You know, John Denver once said, back in the city, they have different ways. Football and eggnog and Christmas parades. I'll take the blanket. I'll take the reins. It's Christmas for cowboys and wide open plains. You know, a glass of eggnog sounds really good right now. Quite the delicious Christmas drink that I indulge on every year. But enough about that. Let's get started with today's review. And today's film is another Lifetime original movie. This one was released on December 9th, 2018. Directed by Gary Yates and written by Cassie Doyle. A Christmas in Tennessee. Stars Rachel Boston, Andrew Walker, Patricia Richardson, Kate Moyer, Tom Young, and Carolyn Rhea. Now, as our movie opens, Allison Bennett, played by Rachel Boston, along with her daughter Olivia, played by Kate Moyer, and her mother, Martha, played by Patricia Richardson, run a bakery that is nestled in the Smoky Mountains in the small town of White Pines, Tennessee. You see, Allison cut short her French pastry training when her father fell ill. And upon his subsequent death, Allison ended up taking over and is now running the struggling family business called Rocky Top Bakery. Feeling like her ex-husband not only abandoned her, but more importantly, abandoned Olivia, Allison has sworn off dating, not wanting to ever put Olivia in that position again. While overhearing her mother talk about the bakery's struggles, Olivia, as her Christmas wish for Santa, asks for more people to come to the bakery in order to buy what she considers the world's best cookies, so that her mother won't have to worry about money. Now, Olivia may have gotten part of her wish when a kind, motherly woman, and later on in the film, her husband come into the shop. And loving the cookies, they ultimately place an extremely large order for a Christmas party. Olivia, in turn, truly believes that the pair is Santa and Mrs. Claus, portrayed by Tom Young and Carolyn Rhea, respectively. Now, Allison's financial worries might also be solved when Matthew, played by Andrew Walker, who is a charming real estate developer, and his assistant, Rebecca, played by Stephanie Morose, come to town. You see, Matthew and Allison's immediate attraction to each other is, of course, dampened on Allison's side when she learns that the reason for them being in town is that they are representing a real estate developer who wants to buy up as much of White Pines as possible, including the town square and the bakery, in order to develop the town into a world-class ski resort. Matthew tries to break through in order to seal the deal, despite Allison's adamant refusal in wanting to retain the town as she knows it. Now, Matthew's job is on the line here if he fails. However, the more time the two spend with each other, the more Allison can see underneath Matthew's business veneer a man with small town values very much like her own. As Allison comes closer to taking a chance on love once again, an Allison Matthew happy ending is threatened by the business aspect, especially as behind the scenes, Rebecca will do anything to prove her place to the company president, Mr. Mulligan, played by Paul Asiambre. I hope I pronounced that right, sir. Allison and the town people work together in order to prevent the takeover from happening. And just when the Bennett ladies seem to be out of luck, the presumed Santa and Mrs. Claus come to the bakery in order to pick up the large order of cookies that they had placed for their Christmas party. And our movie comes to its close. Now, Christmas movies, of course, for me, come down to that one simple thing. Was I entertained? We all acknowledge and admit that the plots are often void of depth because they want you to believe in the impossible, to believe in the spirit of Christmas and the Christmas miracle, which I've told you on every one of these reviews. I believe in that. There are, of course, the rare cases, the exceptions to the rule, where a Christmas movie script does possess depth. And when you find one of those, you've found a true gem. This film is that rare gem. First thing first, though, Rachel Boston. Her name wasn't instantly recognizable to me, but her face was. And after a quick Google search, I immediately realized what I knew her from. A short-lived NBC series from the early 2000s entitled American Dreams. On that show, she played Beth, the love interest for the family's oldest son, ironically, JJ Pryor. Then you factor in Patricia Richardson, Jill Taylor from Home Improvement, and Caroline Rhea, and I was immediately invested in this film. However, I would be lying if I tried to portray the film as something original. It was virtually the exact same story of another one of my favorite Christmas movies. Very little known film called The Christmas Gift from 1986, which stars John Denver. In both films, a businessman is sent to a small town in order to try and purchase the land in order to develop a ski resort. In both films, the businessman meets a lonely woman who grew up in the town, had left to begin a life elsewhere, only to return home when their families needed them to take over the family business. In both films, the businessman falls in love with the woman as well as the town, and inevitably does whatever it takes to prevent their bosses from gaining the land. And I think that may have been what sealed the deal for me. The parallels to a movie that already holds a very special place in my heart. It is a fine line, though, as if the film hadn't captured the magic, then I could have rejected it completely. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. The chemistry between Allison and Matthew was off the charts. It was there right from the jump. Rachel Boston, Caroline Rhea, and Patricia Richardson all stole the show whenever they were on camera. Kate Moyer was absolutely adorable as Olivia. The movie just fired on every single cylinder. When it comes to my rating, I give this not 4 stars, but I give it 4.5 stars. And the only reason why I took that half star off is because to me it is a carbon copy of The Christmas Gift. But what do you guys think of A Christmas in Tennessee? Let me know. Have you seen it before? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that discourse, those interactions, those engagements that I'm always trying to get out of you, my loyal viewers. And I told you we would get to a film that possessed that depth. Newsflash, there's still one more. So until next time, when we return to the theater for another brand new episode of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel, I have been your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking each and every one of you guys for joining me and tuning in. And I will catch you all next time.